Am I audible?
Yes.
Good morning and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to the online meeting of Agnel Toastmasters Club, Fort Monmouth Toastmasters Club, Susquehanna Toastmasters Club, and Soaring Eagles Toastmasters Club. I am pleased to be your sergeant at arms for today's meeting. In the online meeting environment, there are few instructions that we follow. I request you to rename yourselves. All Toastmasters can prefix TM to your name and guests can prefix guest. I also request all speakers and role holders to prefix their role to their name so that it's easy to identify them. I will give you 10 seconds for this activity. All speakers are requested to do a quick audio and video check before they start their speech. Um, I would request you not to type in the chat box when a speaker is speaking, as it disturbs the speaker. You can use the private chat box provided. You are all requested to keep your audio on mute in case you aren't speaking. Please refrain from unnecessary movements or sipping on drinks if your video is on. Please turn off your video in case you need to do so. Do not click on screen share unless your speech or role requires to do so. You can connect with the Zoom master for any technical glitch. The Zoom master for today's meeting is Toastmaster Praveen. If you are a speaker, then please ensure you pin the timer or confirm that the same is visible at all times. This meeting is being recorded. In case you have any reservations, please let us know. You can network during the break and after the meeting. Let me share the mission of the club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. I welcome the presiding officer, Toastmaster Sanish, to take you through the further proceedings. Over to you, Toastmaster Sanish.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saish. Let's give a warm round of applause to the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Saish, for opening the meeting with a bang. And everyone, welcome to the joint meeting of Agnel Toastmasters Club from District 98 and Fort Monmouth Toastmasters Club, Soaring Eagles Club, and Susquehanna Club from District 18. So welcome everyone, and it's so nice to see everybody's smiling faces. And I would request all of you to switch on your videos if possible. So I see all the Toastmasters in the meeting, and I don't think we have any guests. So lucky us, I think most of us would get to participate in the table topic session. So the more time for all of us to take advantage of this particular meeting. And that's the funny thing, right? What I like about the online meeting is we meet from different parts of the world. We get to exchange ideas, exchange our own thoughts process, the way of speaking mannerism, and get to share and learn from each other. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to each and every one of you from different parts of the world. Now, I have a story to share with you, something I read over the last week. It was a story about a father, how he taught his son to not lose control and the importance of having calm and composure. So there was a child who was always used to lose his composure and used to get angry a lot. So one day, father decided to hand him a bag of nails and told him to hit it on the fence whenever he got angry. And on the very first day, he hit 40 nails into the fence. As days progressed, the kid realized it's easier to maintain calm rather than hit nail on the fence. And over a period of weeks, he slowly decreased the nails he hit on the fence. And finally, one day, he went up to the father and told, "Today, I did not hit any nail on the fence." The father said, "That's great," and took him to the fence and told him, "Now, for every day you are able to maintain that peace and calm, pick out that nail." And over next few weeks, the son did that. And when all the nails were picked from the fence, the father told to the kid, Look at the fence. It's not the same as before when you had hit the nails. That is a mark. And the moral of the story is that whenever we lose our calm and composure, whenever we get angry, we tend to say words and it can hurt the relationship, maybe personal or professional, but we can never take it back. Because whenever we hit the fence with a nail, that hole is made. And so is the thing with relationship. Well, this is where the story stops. Now, here's my personal take. I stayed silent for most of my life, fearing that I would affect the relationship. And our Toastmasters, I learned we don't have to stay silent. There is always something we can be better to handle the situation. If we don't give feedback, if we don't share our opinion in fear that we may affect the relationship, we may never progress. We may never let the other person know what we are suffering through. So over this platform, we always get that opportunity to learn, to practice how to put forward our thoughts, our words in a more articulate way so that we don't hurt someone else's feelings. So that is one thing, my own take from this personal story. So I hope everybody have a great session for the next 1.5 hour meeting. But before we continue with the proceedings of the meetings, I would like to ask volunteers. We have two roles yet to be filled. One is the evaluator and the second is the general evaluator. So if anyone would like to take up any one of these roles.
Hi,
Yeah, Arun. Yeah, Arun.
hi, Sanish. I just renamed myself as GE.
Thanks, Arun, for taking up the role of general evaluator. Now we have, so I feel like the auctioneer, like 1, 2, 3. The role of general evaluator is gone to Arun. I see Janet raising her hand.
I'll be happy to be speaker one evaluator.
Thank you, Janet. The role of evaluator gone to the Janet. So I feel
could someone please send me the evaluation form for speaker one?
Definitely. Toastmaster Anand will share with you the evaluator for resource.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janet, for taking up the role. And now, moving ahead, we have someone who will be taking us through today's evening. The master of ceremony, the Toastmaster of the day, so-called. He is a very flamboyant and very charismatic personality. He had conducted our special session, a quiz session in our 275th meeting. He has been working as the HR for Seram Finance and has been a professional for more than 4 years and associated with our club for more than 1 year. Please help me with a warm round of applause, Toastmasters Shobit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shanish, for this wonderful introduction. It is my pleasure to serve as the MOC for today's meeting. Before introducing the theme of the day, let me explain how a Toastmasters session is conducted. Any Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 parts. The first part consists of prepared speeches where members will be delivering speeches based on the projects and the path they have chosen. Second part is the session of table topic rounds, where members can practice thinking and speaking on their feet and give a 1 to 2 minute speech on the topic given by the table topic master. This round is also known as impromptu speech session. And the third part is one of the most important part, that is the evaluation section, where our speech evaluator will evaluate the prepared speeches and the journal evaluator of the day will give a report on the entire day. Before we start with our prepared speech section, let me talk about the theme of the day, which is East meets West. Once Gautam Buddha said, in the sky, there is no distinction of East and West. People create distinction out of their own mind and believe them to be true. As we are Indians, we believe in the philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means the world is a big family. We are all part of a big family. And we as Toastmasters are even more blessed. We are also a part of this wonderful Toastmasters family. We have a lot of similarities and differences between East and West. Let us understand in a very funny way. I request everyone to kindly unmute themselves. Let us start with a fun activity. So there are a lot of English words which have a very different meaning in Hindi. For example, goal. In English, goal means our aim. And in Hindi or in India, goal means a circle. So I would request people to participate and tell us about few more such words which have an entirely different meaning. They can type in the chat box, or it would be good if they unmute themselves and can speak. I would request Zoom Master to kindly allow people to unmute themselves. Would somebody like to try? Okay, so I have few words with me. For example, in English, we use a word sir. This word we use for addressing someone with respect. But in Hindi, sir means our head. So we have another word more. More means a greater amount. But in Hindi, in India, the more word is known as a peacock. I would request everyone, once I am pronouncing the name, they can type in the chat box the Indian name of that word. And the few more words are rub. In English, the rub means to erase something. And in Hindi or in India, rub means to pray. Rub means God. And there's another word, suffer. In English, suffer means act of undergoing pain and sorrow. But in Hindi, can anybody tell me what suffer means?
Journey, travel.
Correct. Suffer means going somewhere or traveling to any place. In English, bill means a record of payment. And in Hindi, in India, bill means where a rodent or a small wild animal lives. In English, con is a word which has many different languages. For example, pros and cons. But in India, con means con, who? In English, rose is known as a flower. But in India, rose is known as daily. Such. Such is an English word. We may call it saying for such examples. But in India, such means truth. And the last word is ugly. Ugly in English, we say not beautiful. But in Hindi, ugly means next. Now let's move ahead in the meeting. As a master of ceremony, it is my duty to introduce the role bearers who will assist me in running today's session. To keep track of time spent by each speaker, please help me welcome the timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Pushpa.
Am I
Toastmaster
audible?
Pushpa, yes, you're audible and visible completely. Toastmaster Pushpa, I would like to ask you one question and you need to answer in a single word. What is the best thing you like about the Western world?
It's difficult to answer because there are a lot of good things in the Western world, and I think one of them would be maybe the fashion there, which people follow very ardently, which I really like. People, whenever they step out of their house, they are in full style. So yeah, that is one thing which I really like.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pushpa. Toastmaster Pushpa, go ahead and please explain your role.
So yeah, as the timer, my duty is to time the prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluations. For prepared speech, the time allotted varies as per the project and will be stated by the evaluator. For instance, for an icebreaker, the time allocated is 4 to 6 minutes. For table topics, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. For evaluation, the time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. Speakers must meet the specified time limit to qualify for the awards at the end of the meeting. I will display the green screen at the minimum qualifying time, yellow screen at the midpoint of the qualifying time range, and the red screen at the maximum qualifying time till the end of the speech. For prepared speech and evaluation, the speaker has 30 seconds grace before the minimum qualifying time and after the maximum qualifying time. For table topics, there is a grace of 30 seconds only after the red screen is displayed. For all speakers who continue to speak beyond the 30 seconds grace will not qualify for the vote. I will report the time taken by the speakers when called upon. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pushpa. Next, to keep the track of hours and ums during the meeting, we have the hour counter for the day. I would request Zoom Master to kindly unmute and spotlight Toastmaster Nisha. Toastmaster
Hello.
Nisha.
Good
Hi,
evening.
Good evening, Toastmaster Nisha. So as I got to know that currently you are residing in US. Is it true?
It's residing more of a vacation with my
Okay,
daughter.
in a
right
vacation,
now.
sorry. So what is
It's
the
a,
one thing you really like about Western world?
the most best part I like that people are very punctual about the things they have to do. They take things very seriously, even their passions. So even the small thing like painting or drawing, that is very, very important for them and they take it very seriously.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nisha. Please go ahead and explain your role.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I am the R counter for the day. As the R counter, I will note words and sounds that are used as crutch or fillers by the speakers. You can use the dash. During the meeting, I will listen to the crutch words such as and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds such as and I will note when a speaker repeats a phrase such as I, or this means, and of long or short pauses. I will give my report when called for by the general evaluator. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nisha. Now next, to track the good and not so good usage of grammar, we have the grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Manju. I would request Zoom Master to kindly unmute and spotlight. Hi, Toastmaster Manju. So the same question is for you also. What is the one thing you really like about the Western world?
Their independent culture is one thing which I really like.
Yeah, thank you for the answer. Go ahead, Toastmaster Manju, and explain your role.
As they say, the better the grammar, the clearer the message. It is not essential to boil the ocean and learn each and every grammar rule, but good grammar certainly helps in better articulation of thought. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language uses. I take note of any incorrect uses of grammar, as well as any good uses of words, quotes, saying, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today, the word of the day is electrify, meaning arousing a sudden sense of great excitement. Usage, her performance electrified the audience. Or it has another meaning, to make something work by using electricity, to pass an electrical current through something. Uses, the railway line was electrified in the 1950s. And phrase of the day is boiling the ocean, meaning undertaking an impossible task or making a task unnecessarily difficult. Usage, we were guilty of trying to boil the ocean with overly ambitious schedules and not appropriately timing the resources. I will give my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day and phrase of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manju. The last but not the least role player, we have our Zoom Master, Toastmaster Praveen. Toastmaster Praveen, if you can spotlight yourself and say hi to the audience.
Yeah, hi there.
Yeah, Toastmaster
Hello, everyone.
Praveen. So we all know for any technical glitches, we need to contact you. The same question for you. What is the one thing you like about the Western world?
It is one thing is Hollywood.
Hollywood, really. We all love Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Praveen. Now let's move ahead with the prepared speech section. The first speaker for this round will be attempting level 2 project 3 from the effective coaching pathway, sorry. To evaluate this speech, we have Toastmaster Janet. I would request Zoom Master to kindly unmute and spotlight Toastmaster Janet. Hi, Toastmaster Janet.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm the evaluator for speaker 1, and I'm going to introduce his speech. We have Toastmaster Parita Bakar, and I apologize if I've mispronounced your name. He is working on the He is working on the Effective Coaching Pathways, Level 2, Pathway 3. His speech this morning is called MMM, and it's 5 to 7 minutes long. The purpose of this Toastmaster speech this morning is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envision mentoring. The purpose of this speech for the member is to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. I'm happy to be the evaluator. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Janet. But I have one question for you. What is the one thing you like about the Eastern world, or we can say India?
There's so many things to like about the Eastern world, and I wish I knew more about them. I do have an interest in understanding more about your philosophies and religions, because we're not exposed that much to them, or as much as I think we should here in the Western world.
Thank you, Toastmaster Janet. Now I would request Zoom Master to kindly unmute and spotlight our first speaker, Toastmaster Parita. Toastmaster Parita, I would request Zoom Master to kindly pin the timer. So meanwhile, Zoom Master is, okay, timer is pinned. So Toastmaster Parita, same question for you. In a single word, you need to tell me what the one thing you like about the Western world.
Avocados.
Avocados, wonderful. So Toastmaster Parita, are you able to see the timer cards? Timer, can you flip the cards?
Yeah. Yes, I can see yellow, red.
Thank you, Toastmaster Parita. Toastmaster Parita, M. Toastmaster Parita.
Thank you so much. And to start with, I have a question for all of you. How many of you sitting here remember the mentor or a teacher whom you never liked? I repeat, how many of you sitting here do remember a teacher or a mentor whom you never liked? Please raise your hands. I would like to see those raised hands. Wonderful. So I can see most of the hands raised. And with that, let me park this question here for a while. A mentor. Who is a mentor, and how fond you are about a teacher or a mentor? Mentor plays a very important role in each and everyone's life. Mentor, teacher, guru, a guide. Someone who plays all these roles together. Who is that? For me, that is been my mother, Ramila Atha. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guest. Today, I'm here to speak on mentoring. The first name that I can recall as my mentor is of my mother, Ramila Atha. Her support, her motivation, her push, her encouragement, her guidance, and her spiritual knowledge has given me so much of strength and has made me a positive thinker. Any vituperative remark cannot put me down today, and it's only because of my mom, because she has always taught me that never look upon your failure, but look upon your failure as a step towards your success. Friends, we all are blessed with our parents to be our first mentors by default. Moving ahead, the second category of mentor. These mentors are the one with whom we have cordial relationship. These mentors are the one we choose. We are partial towards their mentoring. Let us talk about Toastmasters, wherein mentors play a crucial and a very important role. I still remember a day when I attended my first Toastmasters meeting and I heard my mentor's speech. His speech title was, "There is nothing wrong in going wrong." I repeat, his speech title was, "There is nothing wrong in going wrong." His speech set the world on fire. And I so very much wish that this person should be my mentor. A person like me who had glossophobia, fear of public speaking, is standing in you all and giving a speech. This is just like a dream come true. And it would not have been possible without the support
I think there is a technical glitch, so we can wait for 30 seconds for the speakers to join back.
It would not have been possible without the support guidance of my mentor, who is here amongst us and who is really compassionate, amiable, one of a kind. He has won many awards and he is someone I really look upon, but he's such a down-to-earth person, such a great human being. And for now, keep guessing, who is he? The third category of mentor are the ones who are forced on us. They are someone we are forced to have it in our lives as we don't have any choice. For example, my biology teacher, Mahalakshmi ma'am, everything that she taught was all Greek to me. Sitting in her class was like watching a grass grow. Most of the time, I used to sleep in her class. And that's why I'm still perplexed that what is excretory system, what is digestive system, where are lungs, where is heart, what is neurology and all that. She was pretty boorish. And that's why I developed fear of communication, also with the hatred towards the subject. With that, I get back to the question that I had parked for a while. The mentors we all do not like, but we still remember. Friends, no matter whether we like the mentors or we don't, we remember each and every mentor who comes across in our life as they contribute towards our success by some or other means. Communication was always my weakness, but there were few mentors who helped me recognize it. There were few mentors who helped me realize it, and there were few mentors who helped me convert that weakness into my strength. At this moment of time, I would just like to say, each and every child should get the first category of mentors, that is default mentors, that are their parents. That's my first M. They should get the second category of mentors, which are their toys, which is my second M, and they should have one mentor by force, which is my third M. as this all mentors together contribute towards your overall development. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Parita. I would request Zoom Master Toastmaster Praveen to kindly launch the speech feedback form. So meanwhile, the form is being there, so we will move ahead with the meeting. The second speaker for this round will be attempting level 3 project 1 from the engaging humor pathway. To evaluate the speech, we have Toastmaster Meenakshi. I would request Zoom Master to kindly unmute and spotlight Toastmaster Meenakshi. So Toastmaster
Hello.
Meenakshi,
Yes.
the same question for you. What is the one thing you really like about the Western world?
Okay. So this is a very specific answer. I like that the corporates in the Western world are open to giving a sabbatical for traveling, which I feel that we have to ask for. We have to be very ashamed to even ask for 10 days of leave for traveling, and they are ready to give a 6-month sabbatical that you go travel the world.
Correct. Applicable for all of us. So Toastmaster Meenakshi, please read out the speech objective.
Yeah. Good morning, good evening to my Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, and a very special good morning to my target speaker, Toastmaster Laurie. Toastmaster Laurie is attempting her Engage Your Audience with Humor project. The purpose of this project is for the member to determine their style of humor and apply it to a speech that centers and around a central message. Timer, please note the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Laurie.
Now I would like to welcome the second speaker for the day, Toastmaster Laurie. I would request Zoom Master to kindly unmute and spotlight Toastmaster Laurie. Zoom Master, I would also request to kindly pin the timer. Toastmaster Laurie, are you able to hear? Are you able to see the timer card? Timer, if you can please flip the cards.
Yes, I can see the timer. Thank you.
Okay. So Toastmaster Laurie, one question for you. What do you like about the Eastern world?
What do I like about the Eastern world? Well, my ethnic origin is Chinese, even though I have a Hispanic last name. It's my husband's last name. So I am really from the East, and I kind of miss some of the cultures I grew up with in Hawaii, like when we would sit down and eat a Chinese meal with the big lazy Susan. And I don't see that here in Maryland. So I do miss a lot of the cultures that I grew up with that are not really here in Hartford County, Maryland.
Thank you, Toastmaster Laurie. Toastmaster Laurie, cliche are the bee's knees. Cliches are the bee's knees. Toastmaster Laurie.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, clear communication requires clear thinking. And sometimes when I hear the figures of speech that people use every day, I wonder, are they really thinking at all? For example, suppose you've been postponing making a very big decision and a well-meaning friend asks you to take the bull by the horns. Really? Have you seen a bull? How much do you think he likes being grabbed by the horns? Do you really think he likes that? Well, if you do, you might also like being fed several months by a tube in a hospital. So you go over to your friend and tell him, you go and grab the bull by the horns and see, how do you like it? Well, what your friend means, of course, is to take command of the situation. Fine, but let's come up with a figure of speech that I can handle, something like, it's time to grab the kitty by the back of the neck. Now, that's a situation I can control. And then there's that other often repeated phrase, drunk as a skunk. Now, skunks, they really don't drink, not even that occasional glass of sherry after dinner. And you know, thank God they don't, because then they'd be spraying everything in sight just for the fun of it. I know, it rhymes, big deal. So does bee's knees and lucky duck. But you know, even though bees have 6 knees, ducks aren't lucky. Not when they have to stick their butts up in the air just to get a little bit of food. But you know, we can do better. When you encounter a drunk person, you might say, "You're as drunk as an individual who has consumed a quantity of alcohol sufficient to impair his normal functioning of his physical and mental capabilities." But you know, even a skunk wouldn't do that. I know it's long-winded, but the shock of hearing it might sober the person up. And then there's dead as a doornail. That bugs me too. Something can't be dead unless it was alive. And to my knowledge, a sharpened piece of metal with a cap at the end for pounding with a hammer doesn't fit into the category of sentient beings. I suppose we could go all new age and say everything is alive, even the rocks and the dirt. And we could sit in sweat lodges and talk to the trees, but let's face it, those people are nuts. Especially if you think you can kill a doornail. And why just the nail that goes into the door? What about that floor nail and the wall nail and that nail on the ceiling? They get pounded just as hard as the doornail. So how come they aren't dead? Sure, dead as a doornail is alliterative, short and sweet. You don't have to go into the morbid details of how that being in question really died. But the worst part is that phrase implies a comparison, as if there are different kinds of dead. How dead is he? He's dead as a doornail. Wow, that's pretty dead. Too bad he isn't as dead as a deck screw. Then he might not be as dead. And then there's that word homemade. I don't like that word. It's like dissing mom and apple pie. But think about it. Where do you see the word homemade? It's in a store. So the question is, whose home was it made in? I've been in some homes where the kitchen should be closed by the health department. And then finally, there are those wonderful electrifying phrases made up by local television and radio stations like weather on the 10s and breaking news as it breaks. A news program might even promise 11 nonstop minutes, but what the program means is 11 minutes of news without commercial interruption. But that doesn't sound dramatic enough. So the news station comes up with a slogan that defies the laws of the universe. If you're 7 minutes into the program and the power goes out, the minutes aren't going to stop. Sorry. If you want to invent a time warp, go to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and work in theoretical physics. But I have to stop now. Writing about meaning cliches makes me mad as a hornet. But wait, let me rephrase that. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lori. I would request Zoom Master Toastmaster Praveen to kindly launch the speech feedback form. I would request everybody to kindly submit the form. So last 10 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I would request timer Toastmaster Pushpa to present the timing reports for both the speakers.
So Toastmaster Parita has taken 7 minutes and 25 seconds. Toastmaster Lori has taken 5 minutes and 40 seconds.
So both the speakers are qualified. Zoom Master, can we launch the poll for the best speaker? Ten-second more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you everyone for the voting. Now let's move to the next section for today's meeting. To provide us with the challenge of table topic round, we have the table topic master who will be conducting the session today. She's a content creator, a videopreneur. She creates content to increase financial awareness. Do follow her on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Please help me welcome the table topic master for the day, Toastmaster Amruta. Toastmaster Amruta, same question for you. What is that one thing you really like about the Western world?
Disneyland.
Disneyland, wonderful. Over to you, Toastmaster Amruta.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, everyone. I am Amruta, and I'm the table topic master of the day. This is an impromptu session of a table topic meeting. It's an interesting session which will give a chance to Toastmaster and guests to sharpen their listening, thinking, and speech delivery skills. Before beginning the session, I request the timer to call out the timing guidelines again for the table topic round.
So for the table topics, the allotted time is 1 to 2 minutes, and there will be a grace time of 30 seconds after the red screen is displayed.
Thank you, timer Pushpa. I may randomly call anyone, or you can volunteer by raising your hand. So I request to all of you to participate. I have 12 topics, and you can choose any number between 1 to 12. So also I request everyone to use word of the day, and let's begin with the session. So anyone here who can volunteer first?
Hi, Amruta. I would like to take the question. Kumar.
Sure. So which number would you like to pick?
5.
5. So Kumar, your topic is what makes you smile. Kumar, what makes you smile?
Oh, that's a very simple question. There are a lot of things which make me smile. Eating chocolate makes me smile. Eating a cup of ice cream makes me smile. And whenever my boss is on leave, and that really brings a smile on my face, so that I don't have to work that much on that day, and nobody is going to micromanage me. And whenever I have finished my Maggie and I am eating from my wife's plate, her share of Maggie after finishing my Maggie, that's the biggest happiness. That's a joke going around nowadays. So there are a lot of things which make me happy. I've like not I will not say like money makes me happy, or that this thing, that thing. It's the smallest of things which we should try to find happiness. And this is what I'm trying to do in this work from home scenario, where you are stuck all day in your home, and finding happiness in small things is very much important nowadays. So yeah, and now if I try to speak more and more on this table topic question, I would be trying to boil the ocean. So that's all from my side. Over to you, table topic master.
That's very interesting, and you are right. Little things matter. So we move. So next volunteer here.
I will go.
Okay, Toastmaster Nita. Which number would you like to pick?
7, please.
7. The need to normalize the social media detox. Toastmaster Nita, the need to normalize the social media detox.
Thank you, Toastmaster, Table Topic Master, and thank you to your club for having us today. The need for social media detox. Well, I have a daughter, she's 14, and we are always concerned about her usage of social media. At the moment, we feel like she is pretty mature and she has a handle on what she's doing. We do check her phone every so often, so we know what's going on because she is still only 14. I do feel like as long as the parents are involved and have an overview of what their child is doing on social media, that helps. But yes, there should be a regulation or some type of better way to regulate the social media or have limits. But no matter what we do, children, people who want to go to the social media, use the social media, they'll find the ways to use it. So it's a tough thing. Yes, there should be regulation for social media, yet even if there is regulation, children or people that want to use it for certain purposes may continue to do so. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nita. Next volunteer. Anyone? Toastmaster Laurie, do you want to participate?
Oh, me? I thought people had heard me and speaking today, but okay.
Which number would you like to choose?
I'm sorry. Mentions? I don't understand. Oh.
5 and 7 are already taken. Which number would you like to choose?
3, number 3.
What was the last time you tried something new? Toastmaster Laurie, what was the last time you tried something new?
Miss Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters. I guess speaking in front of a club from a different country, this is like, I guess we're doing this right now. The last time I've done something new, and I was really apprehensive about speaking because usually it's a small club. I'm in 2 clubs. I'm in a Soaring Eagles, and I'm in a Fort Monmouth club, and they're very small. We only have maybe 5 or 6 people at the meeting at the most. And here we have, how many people do we have? We have a lot of people here. And I haven't spoken online with this many people ever. So this is pretty cool though. I see all these lovely happy faces, and it's so early on a Saturday, but well, it's not early over there. But anyway, yeah, I'm really happy to be here, and that this is really the last time I'm older too. I don't like to try new things. When you're like in your 50s, you're kind of set in your ways, like go to bed at 8:30, which probably a lot of you don't, but I like to go to bed at 8:30 because I get up a couple of times every night. When you get my age, you don't sleep as well as when you're in your 40s. And so being set in my ways, I don't like to try a lot of new things, but this was pretty cool, I think. So that's the last thing that I did that was new, Miss Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lori. Next, Toastmaster Brad, would you like to participate?
Sure, I'll take one.
Which one? Which one would you pick? 1, 2,
I'll
3,
take.
5, 7 are already taken.
Oh, okay, I'll do 8.
8. Toastmaster Brad, does knowing English make you a better orator? Toastmaster Brad, does knowing English make you a better orator?
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. Does knowing English make you a better orator? I don't know. I think that you can communicate in many languages, and English doesn't necessarily make you a better orator or speaker. I think you can come up with a great topic and engage your audience with an electrifying speech in many languages. You could probably even use sign language to get a point across. So no, I don't think that necessarily that knowing English makes you a good orator. I think it's more about the content of your speech and the message that you're trying to get across than the language that you're using to speak it in. It's an interesting question. So thank you for that question about whether English makes you a great orator. But just to recap, I think that it's more important about the content of your speech and the message that you're conveying and how you engage your audience than the language that you speak in. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Brad. I 100% agree with you. You can be a better orator in any language, be it your mother tongue or your sign language. So we move ahead. Anyone volunteer here? Anyone
Yeah,
would
I'll
like
do one.
to?
Yes, this is Nick Deplich. I'd like to do one.
Okay. Which number would you like to choose?
I'll take number 1.
3, 5, 7, and 8 are taken.
Number 1, please.
Number 1. Okay. Introverts are the best listener. DTM Nick, introverts are the best listeners.
Fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests, and thank you for having us Americans over here as your guests today. I certainly agree that introverts are the best listeners. As an introvert myself, I find myself listening way more often than I participate in conversations. Whenever I'm in a group setting, a party, or just mingling at a conference, or even a work meeting where we have multiple people gathered together to talk about, I find myself sitting on the sideline, listening, finding what other people have to say. Even when I am running a meeting as a Toastmaster of the day or the president of a club running the executive meeting, I like to hear what other people have to say before I add my own input, my sense as a saying. I already forgot the name of Lori's speech. Cliches, as a cliche that people like to use. Throw in my own 2 cents, or even ask a question that might get the conversation going in another direction. I like to listen to what everybody else has to say first. So that way I have the most information I can possibly have to make my input make the most impact when I do say something. Also gives me plenty of time to formulate my thoughts. I'm not the fastest thinker. I don't think on my feet great, and table topics is certainly one of the areas I struggle the most, because that's where we have to think on our feet. But I've been an introvert my whole life. There's certainly areas where I found where I can be extroverted. I can take control. I can be one of the people that are moving the conversations along or moving the things along. But introverts certainly like to listen, and I am a listener. Thank you for the topic, and back over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nick. Next one, anyone want to participate? Toastmaster Parita?
Amit had raised his hand.
Yeah, probably I'll go after Amit. Amrita, you
Okay.
can go ahead with Amit. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Toastmaster Jenny?
Amrita, Toastmaster Amit is, I guess Amit is spotlighted.
Okay, okay. Which number would you like to choose?
To me,
Yes.
what are the numbers left? Sorry, I missed that.
1, 3, 5, 7, 8 had already taken.
Number 2.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
Home is where heart is. Home is where heart is.
Yeah, thanks for giving this topic to me because this is something which is very close to my heart. And I appreciate that I was being given an opportunity to speak into this particular forum. As you rightly said, home is a place where heart lies. Yes, that is true. Because many times we often aspire to go out and visit different places. We feel that we are getting bored in the house and we should explore new places at the same time. Stay at the different locations, etc. So in recent past, I have visited one of the 5-star hotel and stayed there for 7 to 8 days. But then, again, there was a homesick feeling that crept into my mind, and I started feeling that I should go back to home and have a simple food of home rather than having the 5-star food that I have enjoyed or lavished over there. So yes, that often happens not only about the place of the resident, but also whenever we visit the holiday locations, even exotic holiday locations outside our city, we feel that these locations are going to give us a pleasure for a long time. Even though we stay there or plan to stay there for longer time, we will be happy. But then again, there is some factor which pulls us back to our home. After some days, we also start feeling homesick, and we feel that we should go back to the home and relax and stay a kind of a life that we used to stay. We used to live earlier. So that is the kind of a factor that is there. So that's it from my side. Thanks.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit. So, anyone here who wants to participate?
Okay, I can go next.
Okay, Toastmaster Parita, what number would you like to choose?
Can you please tell me the numbers which are left now?
4, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, 4. Number 4.
Describe yourself in terms of food. Toastmaster Parita, describe yourself in terms of food.
Okay, that's really a captivating topic for me because food is where my heart is. All right, with that, good evening, one and all. It's a pleasure to be amongst different people from different country. And yes, now talking about food, as I said, I love avocados. So there you are. Food is my heart, where my heart is. I'm a very good cook. And it has been always said that if you want to win somebody's heart, you need to cook good and feed them. हिंदी में भी एक कहावत है, पति के दिल का रास्ता पेट से जाता है. It's been said in Hindi. So I cook good food, and so I'm a good wife. Food is something that is always taken care by me. I always believe healthy food is healthy mind, and healthy mind is the best way to live the healthy lifestyle. So I always think positive, enjoy my cooking, eat healthy, be healthy, and I advise you all that we should be fit, fine, and healthy by eating healthy food and avoiding the junk. Over to you, TTN.
I remember your last speech related to food only.
Correct, absolutely.
So next one, Toastmaster Nisha, would you like to participate? Toastmaster Janet, are you there?
Yes, I'd be happy to participate.
Okay. Which number would you like to choose?
How about the lowest open number that's available would be fine.
6, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Number 9.
Number 9. Okay. So Toastmaster Janet, is public speaking for everyone? Toastmaster Janet, is public speaking for everyone?
Thank you, Table Topics Master. And like so many have said, thank you for this opportunity where we could have this joint meeting this morning. It's great to meet you all and to share in the Toastmasters journey together. And of course, since we are in Toastmasters, we must say that public speaking is for everyone. But really, as exemplified by the speeches we heard today, we can see how public speaking not only develops that level, that skill set of public speaking, but helps us to develop as a person. When we public speak, we must first think about what we're going to say. We must form what we're going to say and be purposeful and mindful in our content and who our audience is. And in doing that, that helps us develop as a person to be more reflective on our surroundings and the people in our lives. So without a doubt, public speaking is for everyone. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Janet. So anyone out there? Last one. Anyone wants to participate? Toastmaster Rohit, would you like to participate?
Am I audible?
There's some
yes, you are
echo.
audible.
There's some noise, background noise, Jenny. Maybe from the.
Yes, you are.
Is it better now?
Yes, now you are audible. So which number would you like to choose?
Number 12.
12. Okay. Toastmaster Jamie, photography, not a leisure activity, but a growing professional career choice. Toastmaster Jamie, photography, not a leisure activity, but a growing professional career choice.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. Photography was something that I used to consider as not even a leisure activity because I always refrain from people taking photos of me. But I used to do it as a profession for my sister every time wherever we went to a beautiful spot. So I was her photographer wherever we went, and I used to click like thousands of pictures for her, and that's how we went about clicking pictures. So clicking pictures was something that I always considered as a simply some pastime activity. Up till one time where I actually realized going into a wedding, I saw the photographer enjoying himself
along with the bride and the groom, and trying to make them pose, make them feel comfortable and happy, and eventually also enjoying that as his own profession. And that is when I started looking at it as a career option, and that's where I started in getting inspired of how people clicking pictures also make you happy, feeling making you feel comfortable, which is something that we usually need in our day-to-day life as well. Like if I have to take a picture of you, I have to definitely make you feel comfortable. At the same time, if I have to communicate with you, the same thing is applicable. So if I am able to take your picture along with me, I'm way more equipped to take to start a conversation with you. So I feel growing that kind of a rapport is very essential in this era. And moreover, I feel Canva and all has wonderful photos out there which we automatically pick and post. And nowadays we have freelancers who actually click pictures for Amazon and for Canva, and they post it up and they earn money there. So although this being a very lucrative hobby for people, it's somewhere a very great career choice in today's world. Thank you, and over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jamie. Now I request timer Pushpa to know the timings.
So for the table topics, guest Kumar took 1 minute 14 seconds. Toastmaster Neeta took 1 minute 24 seconds. Toastmaster Laurie took 1 minute 31 seconds. Toastmaster Brad took 1 minute 14 seconds. Toastmaster Nick took 2 minutes 17 seconds. Guest Amit took 1 minute 22 seconds. Toastmaster Parita took 1 minute 30 seconds. Toastmaster Janet took 1 minute 1 second. Toastmaster Jamie took 2 minutes 19 seconds. So all are qualified.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Pushpa. Zoom Master, can we launch the poll for best table topic speaker? Zoom Master Praveen, can we launch the poll?
It's launched. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The poll will end in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Zoom Master Praveen. Now I conclude table topic session here, and thank you so much, everyone. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
That was really an interesting table topic session. Thank you, Toastmaster Amrita, for such a wonderful, electrified, and engaging session. Now, I will not boil the ocean more. We will move ahead with the next part of our meeting. That is important round of Toastmasters meeting. In this round, constructive feedback is given to each speaker as well as to the overall meeting, so that members can benefit from the experience of evaluators and become better speakers. For this, we have our journal evaluator, who is Toastmaster from last 2.5 years, currently serving as the VPPR of our Agnel Toastmasters Club and president-elect for the next session. An underwriter by profession, likes to run and keeping fit. I would like to welcome Toastmasters Arun to conduct the session. I would request Zoom Master to kindly spotlight Toastmaster Arun. Toastmaster Arun, same question for you as well. What is the one thing you really like about the Western world?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shobit. Hope you can see me and you can hear me.
Yes, perfectly.
Thank you for this this meeting this evening. electrifying word is becoming a cliche. I hope everyone is using because the meeting is going on so well. Thank you so much for your session as well. I am enjoying thoroughly. And coming back to your question, the word you are using is really, really big for me. Western world, the world is so big, and Western world encompasses so many countries. And I have a very small reach to them. I have never put my steps on American soil. I can comment about Europe. One thing about great about them vis-a-vis us is that the traffic rules they follow to their core. If we try to cross the road in India, you see drivers intend to take the vehicle on your chest, but there if they see you probably 50 meters before they try to stop the vehicle. So that is the best thing about them I like.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arun. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Shobit. Good evening, everyone, again, and welcome to the feedback session. Welcome to the evaluation session. And this is where we understand about ourselves and the everyone who comes at this stage and speaks, and we learn from this session. And this session for the guest is divided into, again, 3 parts, where experienced evaluator in first part will evaluate the speeches that you heard, and then there is going to be auxiliary role players who are going to report their reports, whatever they observed during the meeting, and then it will be my comments, how I see the overall meeting as general evaluator. So without any further ado, let's start with the evaluation session. And I invite the first evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Janet, who will be evaluating the speech of Toastmaster Parita.
Thank
Toastmaster
you, General.
Janet, I can hear you and I can see you. Please go ahead.
Thank you, General Evaluator Anand. I am this evaluator for our first speaker, Parita. She gave a speech on effective coaching level 2, pathway 3. The title of her speech was MMM. Her purpose was to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring, and she was to share some aspect of previous experience as a protege. Parita, your enthusiasm was very clear through your electrifying delivery, using voice, expressions, gestures, and use of visual space. Your enthusiasm was a great vehicle for the information you shared with us in your speech. I learned lots of new things about mentoring and also about you. You talked about a familiar topic in a way I hadn't heard before. Mentor by default, your wonderful mom. Mentor by choice, your wonderful fellow Toastmaster. And mentor by force, your biology teacher, who I'm sure is a wonderful person, but you weren't too keen on her as your mentor. I concur with your message that even though you may not always like all of your mentors, it is the necessary combination of all of them for a child's best overall development. And that applied to you. It was a beautifully executed speech. Definitely you achieved the purpose of the speech. Very interesting topic, well written, and supported by personal stories. Perhaps considering adding props, such as a photo of you and your mom, your fellow Toastmaster, and yes, even your biology teacher. Maybe not. If there's something that I would suggest to excel, to challenge yourself to excel at, you've probably heard it before, practice, practice, practice. Practice your speech, put it away for a few days, and then practice it again. I'm a technical editor here in the US, and I know that even when I think something is perfect, if I give it pause and return to it later, I always find something else to add or improve. What a great speech, Parita. I really enjoyed it, and I wish you well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Janet. I'm sure the feedback that you have shared with us, Toastmaster Parita will be, and all of us, in fact, will benefit from it, and probably she will incorporate in her next speech. Now is the time to invite the evaluator to Toastmaster Meenakshi, who will be evaluating the speech of Toastmaster Laurie. Toastmaster Meenakshi, I can see you.
Yes.
I can
Am
hear
I
you
audible?
also.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, General Evaluator. And good evening, good morning once again to my fellow Toastmasters, and special good morning to my target speaker, Toastmaster Laurie. Cliches are the bee's knees. I mean, what a title. I heard the title and we were all hooked onto it. We all wanted to hear what's coming next. Bee's knees, for those who don't know, means an outstanding person or a thing, and it is also used. You showed us what a bee's knees are. The bees have 6 knees. So when I heard your speech, I was reminded of the show Whose Line Is It Anyway? I'm sure all of us have seen that show, and because the objective of your speech, the purpose of your speech was to engage humor with the audience, and you did that from the very go. Right from your title, the audience was thoroughly hooked onto. I can assure on behalf of the entire audience. The purpose of your speech was also to determine the style of your humor. So which I felt that yes, you did. And I got that the style of your humor was witty wordplay. Through the entire course of your speech, there was continuous witty wordplay. Without being too cliched, I want to say that you were funny as a barrel of monkeys. The best part about your speech was that I loved the use of props. The different pictures that you showed us, by grabbing the bull by its horn, you showed us the bull, you showed us a picture of the kitty, you showed us skunk, and it just kept coming on coming. And I'm sure it was easy for everyone to understand what is going on, what's going to come next. You also gave us a technical definition of being drunk, which I thought was really funny. And overall, your speech it had a clear content and it was very well articulated. So it met all the objectives that were stated in as part of your speech. So kudos to you for that. Something that I would suggest to you, where I felt was you could have had a better eye contact with the audience. I felt that you were kind of looking towards the side, probably because you were constantly oscillating between the pictures. So I felt that that was kind of distracting. You could have had a better eye contact with the audience. And overall, your frame, since we are in a Zoom platform, your frame is also important. Like, how do you show yourself? So I felt that you were not in the middle of your frame, you were towards the end. I mean, half of your face was probably outside. So all in all, an electrifying speech, and I'm sure if you keep these recommendations in mind, I'm pretty sure that I'm just being a devil's advocate here. It was a great speech, but you can do much better. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Meenakshi, for the detailed evaluation. Very nice. Now is the time to move to the next section of evaluation, which is taking the report from auxiliary role players. So now I invite timer Pushpa to take the timing on the evaluation section.
Good evening, everyone. So Toastmaster Janet took 2 minutes 20 seconds and Toastmaster Meenakshi took 2 minutes 48 seconds. Both are qualified.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pushpa. I just realized that we are saying good evening, good evening. We beg your pardon. We mean good evening and good morning both to people from Maryland. It's just that out of habit, it's coming out of our mouth. All right, now is the time to invite our counter Toastmaster Nisha with her counter report.
Good morning, Toastmasters, and good evening, Toastmasters from all the regions. Good morning, everyone, and good evening, everyone from all the regions who have joined here. I am presenting my R counter report. I've submitted it on the chat. If you can, everyone can see it.
We have received it, but it would be great if it is on your screen and you can quickly present it. Because everyone may not be able to open it and see it.
1 second. I'll just share it on the screen. I'll try to.
Please.
Yeah.
Yes, we can see the screen.
Is the screen visible to everyone? Toastmaster Arun? Is the screen
Yes, we can see.
visible?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Go ahead. Please quickly summarize the highest or
fine,
lowest
fine.
speakers.
So the highest I found is with
Myself.
yeah, I found with you 4 us and 6 Amruta is R and Parita has 4 ands. And the repetitions who is among us is with Parita. I don't like to try new things is with Lori. The purpose of speech was repeated twice by Meenakshi. This means that means was repeated by Kumar. And Parita also has 3 so. And Amit has 4 you know. Plus Meenakshi has 4 us. So these are the maximum numbers which you're having. Rest all are 1 and 2. By Sanish it is 2 ands. So 1. Amrita has 2 so. 6 hours. Parita has 4 and 3 so. And A is 1. Lori has 1 and so is 2. You know is 2. A is 1. Is 1. I don't like to try new things was repeated twice by Lori. Saish has a short pause once. Meenakshi has 1 and 1 so, 3 hours, 3 arms, 4 hours, and 1 I. The purpose of speech was also repeated by her. Jamie has 1 but, 1 so, 1 2 Janet has 1 and 1 so, you know, 1. Kumar has 1 and 1 This means that means was repeated twice by him. Meeta has 1 well, 1 so. Brad has 1 you know, 2 arms and 1 Nick has 1 and 1 so and 2 eyes. Last was Amit 1 and 1 but, 1 so, 4 you know, 3 hours. This is my report for the day for the R counter. Everyone has done good, but it would be better if these repetitions are reduced, so the speech would be much better. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nisha, for the record of these threadbare and ums. I think all of us will benefit and try to speak less and ums in next meeting and
Thank
so
you.
on. Thank you so much. Now is
Thank
the
you.
time to invite our grammarian, Toastmaster Manju with her report. Everyone, please welcome her.
Good morning and good evening, everyone. I am electrified to see that everyone used correct grammar with negligible mistakes in his or her speech. Word electrifying was used by Toastmaster Laurie, Toastmaster Brad, Toastmaster Shobit, Toastmaster Arun, Toastmaster Janet, Toastmaster Meenakshi. And the phrase of the day, boil the ocean, was used by Toastmaster Kumar and Toastmaster Shobit. I would like to state good words. Flamboyant, used by Toastmaster Sunil. Cordial relationship, used by Toastmaster Parita. Glossophobia, fear of public speech, used by Toastmaster Parita. And funny as barrel of monkeys, used by Toastmaster Meenakshi. Apprehensive, used by Toastmaster Laurie. Improper uses of words and sentences was make me happy. Correct usage is it makes me happy. I 100% agree with you. A better usage is I agree with you 100% or I could not agree with you anymore. I request all Request to all of you, a better users, to is not required. Request all of you, we aspires. It should be we aspire. Thank you, and over to you, Channel Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manju. Very beautifully explained. The usage of grammar, summarizing word of the day, by how many times people used it, word phrase of the day as well. So thank you so much. Now is the time to have my report on overall meeting. I myself joined a bit late and took this role in auction from Sanish. So I'll start from there, where Sanish was closing and handing over to Toastmaster of the day. He started on a great note with lots of energy and came up with a fun activity where he was using the same word with different meaning in different countries. I really liked it. He introduced the role players very well. Timer Pushpa explained her role clearly and then was always upfront, forthcoming with her report. So I really liked it. No slip ups there. Then our counter Toastmaster Nisha. I think in chat, people are praising her report, and it's a good habit. I think in summarizing, she would have done well. She would have been a bit more efficient. Grammarian Manju, I really liked the way you reported. In fact, the role of tag team is really challenging because you have to listen carefully from start till the end. You cannot lose. You cannot afford to not listen to the meeting. So all three roles were done really well. Zoom Master Praveen, you were very good with your highlighting and projecting and letting people share their screen, etc. So kudos to you. Coming to evaluation, evaluator Janet, I really liked your evaluation. Carefully chosen words, giving only recommendations where it was needed, and praising rest of the speech. I really like the way you encouraged Toastmaster Parita. Very well done. Evaluator to Meenakshi. Eye contact, I also felt that Laurie could have worked well, but I really liked her speech. The way she built her speech, the organization, the language, the structure of the speech, it shows that she is a seasoned speaker. So very well done, Toastmaster Meenakshi, with your feedback. Coming to table topic session, Toastmaster Amruta. I really liked that you were commenting after every speaker. So you are trying to complement your thoughts with their thought on the table topics. Great selection of topics. Everyone was really looking forward to participate, and we had as many as 9 speakers today. So really well done there. One thing which you could have improved probably was when you were calling people and people were saying that probably I can speak, and you are moving on to another, calling another person. So probably their coordination could have been a little better. Coming to the table topic speakers, Kumar, guest Kumar, I guess, his topic was what makes you smile. And he started with small things. He put humor into his speech, where he likes eating from his wife's plate, her share after finishing his. He looked like very composed and good speaker to me. Toastmaster Neeta, the need to normalize the social media detox. You're very calm and confident, looking straight into the camera. And your final saying was regulation is required for the children. Toastmaster Laurie, your topic was, what was the last time you tried something new? And you were bang on saying that speaking in front of people from another country. And you sort of confess that I'm speaking to so many people probably for the first time online. And you are so cool. Don't think that you sleep at 8:30 and you are not cool. You are damn cool for me, because I also like to sleep early and wake up early. So I am with you. Toastmaster Brad, does knowing English make you a better orator? I think you nailed it. You nailed it. You said language doesn't matter. What matters is content. DTM Nick, your topic was introverts are the best listeners. You yourself felt when you were speaking, you felt like a leader. You sounded like a leader to me, where you say that you let people speak and then at the end you like to speak yourself. That's what the first quality of a leader is, I guess, listening to everybody and then probably opining yourself. So fantastic take on the topic. Guest Amit, the topic was home is where heart is. What a fluent speaker you are. It's just that some polishing and you are there, my friend. Really, really well crafted speech in that 1 minute, 22 seconds. Toastmaster Parita, describe yourself in terms of food. You love avocados. Whenever you call me at your home, I'll come with avocados. You just one feedback. You used a Hindi phrase and then did not translate into English. So when you are speaking to an international audience who are not knowing Hindi or dialect you are using, just translate and share with them what you said. Toastmaster Janet is public speaking for everyone. The best thing for me in your speech was it helps us develop as a person, and our communication is more purposeful when we learn public speaking. And that is what the purpose of communication is. It's not only about public speaking, it's about being more efficient and direct and purposeful and mindful in our speaking. And I really liked it. You consumed 1 minute, 1 second. You could have elaborated more. I was enjoying listening to you. So I look forward to you listening to you next time. Try to speak more. Toastmaster Jamie, photography, not a leisure activity, but a growing professional career choice. And she, at the end, she said so many things. She's a sister's photographer, and then she went to a party, which she does, I think, more often. And then photographer was enjoying with the bride and groom and everyone. So that's all from my side. It's 8 o'clock, so probably we need some more time. Can I take the consent from everyone to extend the meeting for 15 minutes, please? Say yes if you agree. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now I hand over the stage to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shobit. I really had fun being the general evaluator, and back to MOC.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arun, for this wonderful evaluation session. On that note, I would like to thank everyone for attending this meeting. Now, I will hand over the stage to Toastmaster Janet for the further proceedings. Zoom Master, kindly unmute and spotlight Toastmaster Janet.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony Shabbat. Thank you, everyone, today. What a wonderful experience this has been, and I hope it's been for you too. Thank you, Toastmaster Jamie, for organizing this event. It's been great to meet all of you at the Agnel Club. On behalf of all of us from Maryland, I want to collectively say how much we appreciate and enjoy this experience and opportunity. This morning for us, this evening for you, I asked Google what I should wear today. However I asked it, her reply was, "I'm sorry, I can't help you with that." So I rephrased my question in a more generic way, and she said, "Wear confidence, because it is always in style." Yes, absolutely. That's the fundamental story of Toastmasters, isn't it? Wearing confidence, being comfortable wearing confidence. I might also add that Toastmasters is a great place for fun, and we had lots of it today. So thank you, Agnel Club, for hosting today, and we wish you well until we meet you all again. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Janet, for these wonderful remarks. Now, I would request Zoom Master to kindly launch the polls for Best Evaluator. Everybody is requested to kindly vote for the Best Evaluator. Last 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Now I would request Zoom Master to kindly launch the next polls for Best Supporting Role Player. I will request everybody to kindly vote. Last 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Zoomaster, kindly launch the last poll for best role player. Last 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, Zoom Master, for your support. Now I would like to invite Area B24 Director and Division Director-elect, Toastmaster Jamie Suresh, to kindly take the meeting further. Zoom Master, kindly spotlight. Thank you, Zoom Master. Over to you, Toastmaster Jamie.
Thank you. I can still the effort of this 2 minutes. Yes. So this was a thought that came from Anand, the VP Education of Agnel Toastmasters Club. And so thanks a lot, Anand, for bringing up this idea. And when I proposed this to Janet, Laurie, and their clubs, they were really excited to keep something like this, although this was a never ever conducted event as this. So I really was so happy because we already had the Agnel fam, all of them flocking together right before half an hour itself. And on at the dot of 6 p.m. over here, we all had the club members of District 18 join in. And I was over the moon. I seriously didn't have words. I was just jumping with happiness that all have joined together. And there was the more the merrier. We did have a lot of fun, and I'm sure the other clubs also did. And thanks a lot for joining in and spending your 2 hours. It's in District 18. We usually have 1 hour meetings, and this was a 1 hour extended meeting. So thanks for joining in, even on an odd timing, as opposed to the usual timings that we meet for District 18. We've come for Agnels, and Agnels has also shifted the time for us. So thank you, Agnels. Thank you, Fort Monmouth, Susquehanna, and Soaring Eagles. You've been really wonderful. It's my greatest pleasure to have you all here, and my greatest happiness. You have all made my day. Yes, now we will have a group picture followed by the presentation of the awards. So I now request all of you to keep your videos on so that we click everyone who has turned their videos on. So let's all come into the family.
I guess just one person shot Sharvari. If you can turn on your video, then I guess all of us would be in the same frame.
Ashwini also.
On the count of 3, 2, 1. Taken.
Thank you, Anand. Okay, now we will have the awards presentation, and this will be done by our very own Vice President of Education.
Janet would be presenting.
Okay, Janet, over to you.
Thank you so much. For this portion of the meeting, we're going to have an awards ceremony. And if someone could prompt me on what's next, it's wonderful. Look at this. We'd like to present the Best Speaker Award to Toastmaster Parita for her speech this evening. Congratulations, Parita. Great job. We look forward to more speeches from you. For our next award, Best Table Topics, Toastmaster Jamie, who spoke about photography as a career. Congratulations, Toastmaster Jamie.
Thank you.
The next award, Best Evaluator. Oops, it's me, Toastmaster Janet. Thank you so much for your support. It was an honor to be an evaluator for such a wonderful speech. For the best role player, the award goes to Toastmaster Shobit. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And for the award for best role player, Toastmaster Manju. Congratulations on your award.
Thank you so much.
Can we take that photo once again? It's not taken. Praveen, if you could share the certificate once again. Thank you. I guess we can spotlight Toastmaster Sanish, who can officially close the meeting.
Thank you everyone for joining us. It was great to have this theme brought by Toastmaster Shobit, East meets West. So it was an amazing session. Thank you, Janet, for sharing the certificates with everyone. Now let's commensurate the moment with a group snap. I would request all the members who have their videos also quickly switch on the videos. Let's see all the smiling and the handsome and the beautiful faces out there. So I request everyone to quickly switch on their videos. Yes, I see Rohit, Kaustubh. Come on, Arun. Yeah, Jamie, Ashwini, Shravani. Yes, yes. Come on, guys. Couple of more seconds and we'll capture the moment. So yeah, whoever attended yesterday, we had an amazing educational session on LinkedIn. 1 point given by the speaker. I can already see Anand smiling. So what the speaker like, you have to put a profile pic where your face should be approachable. And one of that phases of doing that is to smile. So let's start practicing. Let's smile. Let's see approachable so that we have more members joining for our next meeting. So I request Zoom Master to click a snap. 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you, everyone. With that, I close today's joint meeting. So we do have networking after the official meeting. So I